Greetings to everyone. I am Sara Waseem, and along with my teammates Simran, Nadia, and Aysha, we will be presenting our research project on exploring the differences in personality factors in terms of work study space preference for the 8th Undergraduate Virtual Research Competition held by Abu Dhabi University. Imagine if our work or study space could be customized according to our personality, collaborative environment or individual environment, coffee shop or your home, based on what resonates with your personality. Well, that is exactly what our project is all about. To give you all a brief background, as we all are aware, COVID 19 has put a sizable portion of the population around the world in a situation where they are expected to work from home. Prior research done on personality and environment preference of an individual does not really focus on working or studying from home, as this shift to remote learning and working is relatively recent. Studies have also demonstrated that individuals who score high on conscientiousness scale find themselves favoring more dutiful settings as compared to those individuals who score low on this scale. Furthermore, the influence of personality on an individual's innovation behavior in workplaces showed that openness to experience positively correlates with an individual's innovation behavior at workplaces. Previous research focused broadly on assessing personality traits and general environment preferences without really exploring on specific locations. Additionally, there is insufficient research regarding this topic in the Middle Eastern region. This study can give an insight and validation to the role played by workspaces and universities and highlight their importance. It can also provide these organizations with insights on how to improve their settings to facilitate higher productivity and allow individuals to produce higher qualities of work. It also aspires to assist United Arab Emirates to provide ideal, happy, and safe workspaces for their employees, which will further help the nation to achieve the goals of National Program of Happiness and
The
Well-being.
aims of the study. This research aims to investigate the difference between the levels of consciousness of UAE residents and their preferred location of work or study between home or office/university. This research also aims to investigate the differences in levels of openness to experience of UAE residents and their preferred work or study environment between an individual focused or a collaborative environment. Taking our aim into consideration, we have proposed two hypotheses. Firstly, there will be a significant difference in the levels of consciousness among individuals with preference to home or office/university location. Secondly, there will be a significant difference in the levels of openness to experience among individuals with preference to individual focus or a collaborative environment. Moving on with the methodology of our research. This research was conducted in collaboration with Columbia University and the Social Psychology Research Lab. Using convenient sampling, 324 UAE residents participated, out of which only 101 participants were included in the final study due to incomplete data. The study implemented an independent group non-experimental design. Participants were required to fill a self-report online questionnaire, the Big Five invented two short form for measuring personality, which included 30 items. The study validated 12 items under the subscales consciousness and openness to experience. The response scale used was Likert scale. Additionally, participants were asked to choose from two options to measure the location preference. For the first aim, options were home and office/university, and for the second, the options were collaborative and individual focused.
Moving on to the findings and the discussion section, two independent t-tests were administered to test the hypotheses. For the first one, no significant differences were observed in the levels of conscientiousness of the individuals between the two groups of location, and you can see this from a p-value which is 0.301. The first hypothesis was based on the studies conducted by Rothman and his colleagues, Sherman and his colleagues, and Rizis and his colleagues that concluded that individuals who score high in conscientiousness tend to prefer more task-oriented and dutiful settings. The findings of this study contradicted the first hypothesis. Moving on to the second one, again, no significant differences were observed in the levels of openness to experience of the individuals between the two groups of environment, and you can see this from a p-value which is 0.689. The second hypothesis was based on the study conducted by Yasil and Sosbili that concluded that openness to experience positively correlates with innovative behavior at workspaces, and the findings of this study contradicted the second hypothesis. These contradictions may have been due to other personality factors than the ones considered in the study. Also, environment preference may be due to other factors which were not personality related, which this study did not explore. Additionally, during COVID, working from home was more of a compulsion than a free choice, which could have also impacted the preferences of the participants.
Moving on to the implications, firstly, limited prior research has focused on the importance of working and studying from a home environment. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, this research primarily focuses on the preference of the home environment. Secondly, this research focuses on the individuals residing in the UAE, which further allows the education divisions and workplaces to transform their environment, enhancing the productivity of students and their working individuals. Similarly, the study can further assist organizations to understand the preferred work environment of their employees and students and build a positive culture within the organization. This will further ensure happiness, unity, and satisfaction among the employees in the UAE. The National Program of Happiness and Well-being promotes the well-being and contentment of the employees in the UAE. With that, we'll move on to the limitations of this study. Only 101 responses of participants were included in this study due to the incomplete data, which can be attributed to the online nature of the data collection. The sample collected was biased in terms of the narrow age range, which presented a disadvantage. While the study has a good representation of the younger population, there is a lack of representation of the older population. Moving on to the future direction, incorporating larger sample sizes in the studies, exploring specific location and environmental settings, conducting such studies at workplaces to assist employers to understand the preferred work environment of their employees and build a positive culture within the organization. Similarly, other personality factors can also be taken into considerations for future studies. That concludes our presentation. However, I would like to summarize the main takeaways from our research quickly. The study looked at how environment preference can be linked with one's personality. While the results presented do not show any significant differences, this study provides future researchers with several suggestions on exploring the role of personality in the preference and selection of environment settings. Understanding the role of personality can help individuals and organizations modify their environment to promote and facilitate high-quality work among the employees in the UAE. And that brings us to an end. We want to thank you for your time and attention today. We sincerely appreciate that we have had this opportunity to present to you. Thank you.